Britain's Sam Goodchild, vulnerable, has taken the lead in the Vendée Globe solo race around the world as the leaders of the 40-boat fleet descend south down the Iberian peninsula. Passing the length of Portugal today, Goodchild, pursued by French ace Charlie Dalin, who is 22 nautical miles behind, was passing Lisbon this afternoon and should be at the latitude of Gibraltar tonight. The British skipper, who is racing his first Vendée Globe, has benefited so far by taking a course slightly closer to the coast than Dalin, and those chasing him, he has been dicing with possible calmer patches, but sailing fewer miles and making slightly fewer manoeuvres than his rivals. This afternoon he was repositioning himself to try close the separation from the French skipper, who is widely tipped as the pre-race favourite. The 40-boat fleet have now largely passed the strong winds and big seas off Cape Finisterre, the gnarly northwest corner of Spain, and are heading south today. The temperatures are rising, and the wind conditions becoming easier, meaning rest will be possible. For the moment it seems like Goodchild might have outsmarted the wily Dalin, one of the master strategists in this fleet. The Brit has gone well in both light and strong conditions, which have marked the first 2 days of the race, which started on Sunday out of Sam Dalin. But ahead the breezes are set to be lighter as they jibe down a narrow corridor of pressure, and it seems there might be the chance for the boats behind to bring down the wind from behind. Nonetheless, it is an important morale boost for the 35-year-old Goodchild, who attended his first Vendée Globe as an 18-year-old nipper working with British skipper Mike Golding. The challenge facing him to hold the lead is a big one, the conditions contrasting sharply with the last edition, which Brit Alex Thompson also led after battling through Tropical Storm Theta to cross the equator with the race lead after 9 days 23 hours. Thompson also led the 2018 race and set the existing record to the equator at 9 days and 7 hours. Conditions through the second night at sea were tough, winds to 40 knots and crossed, confused seas, which meant another night with very little sleep. Dalin said there was quite a bit of wind and manoeuvres. Fortunately, it's not like this every day on the Vendée Globe. I would not like too many days like the last two. There was quite a bit of wind, very unpleasant, and very short sea, but now it's starting to get better, it's warming up, and since the Bay of Biscay I have a good speed. It's quite nice to gain speed after a rather slow start. It has been quite hard work doing this short jibes downwind because you barely have time to recover, and then it is time to go again. Germany's Boris Hermann, Malaysia Sea Explorer, has continued to climb through the fleet. He has had stronger breeze letting his powerful boat start to do its thing, and this afternoon was in 9th place, the fastest of the top 10. The choice of going outside the traffic separation scheme, to the west at Finisterre, was a prudent one made by several skippers, notably Switzerland's Justine Metros, Teamwork Team SNEF, and Nico Lundven, Holcim PRB. Lundven is now furthest to the west, more than 180 miles behind the leader, and reported, "I wanted to do something simple. I wasn't very comfortable with the idea of passing inside the DST of Cape Finisterre with the coastal traffic, quite a lot of wind and seas, jibing. I preferred to take a simple route, even if it meant losing a little. Unfortunately, I had a little problem with my rudder last night. The rudder bar ripped off, so I had to do a bit of fixing and I lost a bit of time. That said, current routings predict enough of a gain offshore that they may catch right back up with the leading peloton." Britain's Pip Hare, Medallia, admitted that she, as have almost others, struggled to rest and is now low on energy after this punishing calm then windy opening phase. From 24th position today, Hare commented, "It has been pretty relentless, to be honest. Having drifted across the line, we have then had 48 hours of really intense sailing, lots of manoeuvres, lots of jibes, plenty of sail changes, sneaking through between the TSS and Finisterre. The sea state became quite big this morning, but it feels like I have only been napping for 20 minutes and then having to get up and do something. I have burned a lot of energy for sure. To be honest, I am not thinking too much about my position in the fleet too much. I did not get away as well as I would have hoped, and it is really easy to dwell on that and get dragged down. I just really struggle at the start of races. I struggle to find my pace, and we have the whole world to go. It has been pretty relentless, to be honest. Having drifted across the line, we have then had 48 hours of really intense sailing, lots of manoeuvres, lots of jibes, plenty of sail changes, sneaking through between the TSS and Finisterre. The sea state became quite big this morning. Sam Davies, Initiative's Kerr, is also working up the fleet in 17th. I think I had something round my keel and then I just went the wrong way, but I think there will be some compression ahead. Making her debut was the 23-year-old sensation of the race so far, the youngest ever skipper, Violette Derange, Devenir, who is sailing the boat which her mentor Jean Le Cam raced to fourth on the last race, best known as Hubert. I took off my spinnaker a bit early, I lost a bit, I wanted to be very safe, but I'm regaining distance, I'm really concentrating on my race. There was a lot of crossing in the fleet. Passing to the west of the TSS seemed easier, so it really didn't make any difference to the routing. Hubert is a great boat, she's my little home, I feel good aboard, I know her well. I was a bit apprehensive before the start, when the wind picked up, but now I'm starting to get into the rhythm. It's great training to find your bearings in the wind before the south.
My name is Boris. I'm currently racing in the Vendée Globe yacht race. Oh my God! Non-stop, solo around the world.
Last day of the Vendée Globe!
During the Vendée Globe, I asked Birte, my wife, and Holly, our team manager, to remind me not to do the Vendée Globe again.
We just keep it nice and simple, and we can look at the weather and look at the strategy in the morning before the start as well. And then, yeah, Monday, 24 hours later on Monday, and then when we get to the start time, we've still got one of these occluded fronts sitting right over the start.
It'd be nice if you're still around and the sun comes in.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can have, let's say, like a little breeze and we just follow along.
Exactly. But 40 boats on the start line, it can be a mess sometimes. But if there's solid wind and you're all going offshore, then we follow an hour and then we leave you to it.
I found it very stressful last time. There was also the option to shy away from something I perceived very difficult, the experience of the last Vendée Globe, and to say, oh, it's maybe too difficult, I don't want to do it again. Or to say, okay, how can I actually use this opportunity to learn certain things about myself so I can deal better with it. So that's the question now when I go back into this adventure. There couldn't be a greater contrast of this upcoming race start on Sunday, where we go through the channel, and then a few hours later you're weeks and then months alone at sea. It's naturally connected, I think, and it's a great appreciation for our passion of the ocean racing to see such a great public coming here, and certainly intense for the skippers to be around so many people. So. Oh, that's great. You're in a good mood to applause, because I would like you to applause the 27 Malaysians who are here, the team who have been working so many days and years to prepare the boat and get us where we are. You here, your team Malaysians? I think 95% of the job of the Vendée Globe is done by now, and now I just tomorrow need to do this little bit to the summit. Thanks to founding this. Thanks to Kieran.
Ça va? Ouais, toi aussi.
Ouais, merci. Toi aussi. On va pas trop vite quand même, Boris. Ok. Ouais.
Boris Malaysia Sea Explorer qui rejoint 6 minutes.
Thanks for being here.
How are you, Boris?
Good to see you, man. Hey.
Hey man, good.
In this second Vendée Globe, I'm looking to find more a spiritual connection with myself, the boat, and the environment. More heart and less brain. If I could find that, that would be the spiritual graal of what I could find.
Take care, hein?
Yeah.
Just breaking into day 2 of the Vendée Globe. Just a little warning. I'm not going to tell you what day it is every day because I don't think I'm going to know after a while. So we are approaching Cape Finisterre and wind's starting to pick up. The sea state is starting to get a bit gnarly. So the ride becomes rougher. And I've got a bit of work to do. So over here, you can see a load of kit that's been stacked there. So that's all my food, some of my clothes, and I need to move that to the back of the boat now to try and keep the bow up to stop that nose diving. I've done the other side already. Trick is not to do it all at once because it's pretty hard work and just get pretty knackered doing it all at once. So I did that side in 2 stages. Took a little 10-minute nap in between. Now it's time to do this side.
Bonjour à tous, j'ai pas donné trop de nouvelles depuis le début là, mais c'était hyper intense. J'étais pas super fier de ma première nuit là, avec des mauvais choix, et du coup je me suis retrouvé un peu en arrière du groupe de tête. Du coup là, au passage du Cap Finisterre, j'ai vraiment cravaché. Voilà, j'espère pas avoir pris trop de risques avec le bateau. Voilà, il y a quand même 30 nœuds là encore, il y a eu 45 de cette nuit. Et voilà, j'espère que ça va se calmer un peu au fur et à mesure de la journée. Voilà, j'essaye d'avoir un rythme un peu plus Vendée Globe, un peu plus coulé. Mais c'est pas évident, le bateau accélère dans les vagues pas mal. Il finit par planter là comme on vient de faire. Et voilà, sinon tout va bien à bord, pas vraiment simple de s'alimenter, encore moins d'aller dormir. Donc ça sera peut-être pour demain là, quand ça va se calmer, ou peut-être cet après-midi si je suis en confiance. Voilà, mais tout va bien à bord. Content de la position, d'être revenu sur Charlie, on va pas le laisser partir quoi. Et puis bonne journée à tous, à bientôt.
Il est mardi après-midi, jour 2, et là je suis à l'approche de Lisbon. Ça va vite, important, avec des grosses voiles maintenant. Et j'ai un petit passager que j'ai tué. Il a l'air un peu timide, donc il n'a pas encore rentré. Je pense qu'il va être beaucoup mieux sur le cockpit, mais on va voir s'il a envie de rentrer tout à l'heure.
Bonjour à tous, bien c'est parti pour 2 mois et demi de suivi de course. On nous demande souvent que fait l'équipe pendant la période de course. Le règlement du Vendée Globe interdit toute assistance à la performance, de style routage ou bien réglage du bateau. Par contre, l'assistance technique pour aider Sam à réparer une avarie est autorisée. Donc toute l'équipe est d'astreinte. L'objectif, ce sera vraiment d'être prêt à aider Sam, à conseiller Sam si elle a une avarie pour qu'elle perde le moins de temps possible à réparer. D'autant plus qu'avec ces nouveaux bateaux, on est obligé de ralentir fort par rapport aux autres lorsque l'on doit diagnostiquer un problème et le réparer. Le début de course a pas forcément été très rapide, avec peu de vent. Sam a eu une première nuit compliquée. Elle pense qu'elle a peut-être pris quelque chose dans la quille parce qu'elle était anormalement lente par rapport à ses concurrents. Mais bon, la course est très longue. Là, ils ont passé le Cap Finistère. Quand il y a du vent de nord-est, il y a des vents qui accélèrent très fort au passage du Cap Finistère avec une mer qui était compliquée. Donc, il faut y aller prudemment. Et maintenant, les bateaux descendent le long du Portugal dans ce qu'on appelle l'alizé portugaise, c'est-à-dire un vent de nord qui leur permet de descendre vers le sud en tirant des bords parce qu'on peut pas naviguer complètement dans la direction du vent, sinon on est très lent. Le danger pour la semaine qui vient, ça va être de ne pas perdre le contact avec la tête de la flotte parce que on voit que dans le sud-ouest de la péninsule ibérique, une petite dépression va venir perturber les alizés, ce qui fait qu'au niveau des Canaries, il risque d'y avoir une rupture d'alizés et des alizés qu'on retrouve ensuite plus au sud. Alors, ou bien toute la flotte se fait arrêter dans cette rupture d'alizés et il n'y a pas de problème, hein, c'est un regroupement général. Mais le risque dans ce genre de situation, c'est toujours que les premiers réussissent à attraper les alizés que l'on voit plus au sud avant que ce régime perturbé d'alizés ne se mette en place. Donc il faut rester à fond pour rester dans le bon wagon, pour pas prendre le risque que quelques bateaux s'échappent. Voilà, bon, on va suivre ça de près et je vous dis à très bientôt.
Les premiers repas à bord de Bureau Vallée, bonjour. Pour l'instant, on mange les rillettes fraîches de Fafal. On n'a pas encore attaqué les pianophilisés. Dans la Fafal, je voulais te remercier parce que c'est un régal. Pimenté juste comme il faut. Je savoure. Et puis en dessert, les Rice Krispies de Janou. C'est un gâteau américain, marshmallow fondu. Avec des Rice Krispies. Et c'est très bon et très nutritif. Voilà, tout ça pour vous dire que pour l'instant on évite de rentrer dans les sachets de nourriture où tous les poids sont comptés, où toutes les calories et tout là pour l'instant. C'est de la full impro, mais c'est très bon. Ciao, merci, bye bye, merci Pavaz, merci.